want to share with you the 6 human needs. Now, I believe these originally come from Sigmund Freud and through Tony Robbins, and actually with a Tom Clifford twist, and then I've kind of switched it around a little bit to make it something that really functions in a martial arts school. And the whole point of the 6 human needs is to really to get us to address the needs of our students. And if we can really cover these, we're going to keep them for a long time. All right? So need number 1 is the need to fit in. And here's the concept. I want you to think about some 7-year-old kid that just enrolled in your school. What is a need for him? Right away is to get him to fit in. Now, how do you do that? There's lots of things. Number 1 is make sure you introduce him to other people. Okay. Another thing is make sure to put him in a uniform, right? Things that make him feel like he's part of the team. So that would be the first need. Now, the second one, opposite of that, would be to stand out. And of course, stand out for the right reasons, not stand out because he did something wrong or he's got spinach on his tooth or something like that, right? But stand out for the right reasons, to give him basically, public recognition, okay? So those two kind of work together. The next two, okay, are certainty. The need for certainty, to know what's going to happen next. So imagine for a second, how does that happen? Well, when someone enrolls, let's go back to that 7-year-old white belt that just enrolled. He needs to know where to put his shoes. He needs to know where to bow on the mat, what to call his instructor, how the warm-up looks like, what's the protocol, maybe what the warm-up looks like. You guys get the idea. So that's certainty. Now the next one is uncertainty, or we're going to call it variety. And that is the need to have something different happen, okay? And so the concept is, obviously, it can't be the same the whole class. There's got to be some certainty, but there also has to be variety, something different. Let's imagine that my buddy and I train every Monday and Wednesday, and I didn't show up on Wednesday, but he did. And we've been training for a few months, and he picks up the phone and he goes, "Hey, Dave, oh man, you missed class on Wednesday. Guess what we did? It was, boom, and it was something totally different and out of the box." So certainty and variety. The last human needs is growth. The need to feel growth. So let's go back to that 7-year-old again. One of the things that he wants to do is he wants to feel like he's getting better. And that's why tips and belts and public acknowledgement is so important, right? So that he actually feels like he's getting better. Oftentimes, I don't know about you, but you don't notice your old children or your friends growing as kids because you see them every day. But you've all seen a cousin or a niece or a nephew that it's been 3 years and boom, they're a different person. They're not aware of their growth, but you can see it from the outside. Well, that's our job as instructors, to make sure that our students, we remind them of their growth. And the last of the 6 human needs is contribution. And that is the importance of giving back. People want to give back. Okay? So, in other words, there comes a point in the training where someone assisting a class is not a burden to them. They want to be a part of something big. Okay? Now, here's what's interesting about these 6 human needs. Initially, in the first few months of training, this is where we really want to focus our energy. We want to focus our energy with new students on fitting in, on certainty, and on growth. Now, eventually, that's going to get so far, but eventually then we're going to have to really switch the focus to stand out as they're moving up in ranks, give them some variety, another way of saying disguising repetition, and contribution, get them involved in some capacity. And it might be I can have that 7-year-old white belt contribute by simply showing the new kid where to put his shoes, right? Being a good example, etc. Now, then inevitably is that you're going to fluctuate between all these. It's going to kind of go back and forth. But what's interesting, if you were to take your inactive students and you were to pull out a list of all your inactive students from the last 2 or 3 years, and you were to look at each one of them and analyze why they quit, I would beg to guess, I would guess that in almost every case, if you would have done, there's some area that you were weak. If you would have been strong, you may have been able to keep them longer. Every time I've done this exercise with a student that quits, I can always trace it back to one of these, that I didn't do better. All right, so what I'd like you to do is really think about the 6 human needs and how you are as a school, how strong you are in those areas. Are you addressing those as they apply to our martial arts school? And if so, chances are your retention is going to skyrocket. If there's some that are weak, what can you do to make it stronger? Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.